Ashe, grand rising, a grand and beautiful day to you all, my fellow humans, not AI, humans. And welcome to this, the 22nd in the series of Another Perspective on Healthy Living with your senior lifestyle advisor. Plus, yes, it is I, the Mystic Philosopher. And of course, I'm feeling real good on this grand rising. Just got back from the gym doing my workout and I feel good, working out amongst the youngsters, my grandchildren, children and grandchildren, I might say, and having some come up to me at all times and telling me that I inspire them to see me keeping up with them for a 2-hour workout from 7, and I don't play around when I go inside here to work out. They ask anyone that. So I'm feeling good and I'm giving thanks that I can hold my own at 65 or almost 65 with the youth. Yeah. So anyhow, let me say, first, if this is the first time watching any of my videos in this series of talks titled Another Perspective on Healthy Living, or if you haven't yet watched all my previous videos in this series, starting from episode 1 through to my last episode 21, and I recommend in consecutive order, I might add, I hereby ask and will also recommend that you please do so before you continue to watch this episode 22. By so doing, by going back and watching those videos, I am more than confident that you will derive a much more deeper and better understanding and overstanding of what this series of talk, what this series is all about. For sure, you will understand that it is not just about recommending what I, the Mystic Philosopher, may perceive to be the right foods, the right supplements, and the right exercises, etc., to benefit and make strong our physical bodies. But that it is also intended, this series of presentation is intended on stimulating the mind. It is intended on provoking thoughts. Some might even say provoking controversy. Encourages is intended to encourage thinking, because a lot of us ain't thinking, and improving our intellect. In some cases, I call it intellectual gymnastics. Remember, if we don't use it, we will most definitely lose it if we are not using our brain power, especially as we get old or get more mature. Some people like the word old, more mature, and heading towards the inevitable. If we don't use it, we lose it. I tell people, if we slow down, we'll go down. Anyway, and so at the end of episode 21, I ended episode 21 by telling you that I think Jesus, more correctly as he was known then according to the record, Yahushua, knew that poor people, which is also known as the materially poor, as defined earlier, again I recommend you watch those previous videos, and classified by society, that have clean hands and pure and are pure in heart, or in their hearts, meaning they are unattached to money, which I, the Mystic Philosopher, also call money the mark of the beast and the root of all evil, and I will be doing a series on that to share my perspective on it again, right? So Jesus knew that poor people that are unattached to fame, unattached to money, unattached to fame, unattached to power and material things, the material things of this material world, are some of the most happiest people, if not the most happiest people in the world, back in his time and also no doubt today. From my perspective, these poor people, they are the materially poor but the spiritually rich and the metaphysically rich. And why? It is because in them is the kingdom of heaven, or in them dwells a heavenly domain. You may also notice that Jesus did not tell him meaning that rich philanthropist, to go sell his possessions and give the money to the poor. And the question here is why? In other words, Jesus did not command or order this rich man, or anyone today I might add, to go to give poor people money. That's all the way. Jesus did not have to give poor people money. Go back and read the story and listen carefully. Jesus did not order this rich philanthropist that is mentioned here in episode 21 and previously, or any one back then or now, to give poor people money, or to go hand out money to poor people. Hello, somebody, check it again. And if you see where I'm erred or I'm overlooked something, again, I'm open. Please furnish me with information so I can get more insight if you have more. In fact, if my interpretation, recollection, and memory of the life of Jesus, as mentioned in the book, is that his life is all that is mentioned in the book is at all correct. If my recollection, my interpretation, and my memory is at all correct about Jesus as mentioned in the book called the Adamic Race History and the Holy Book, the Bible, then with the exception of on one unique occasion when his enemies tried to entrap him, Jesus did not have much, if at all, anything to do with money. He was not fascinated with money, and he did not handle money. But with the one exception, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm open. Show me. From my perspective and interpretation of this scripture, giving poor people money will not and cannot guarantee you, the giver, eternal life, also known as abundant life. Another way of looking at this is that money and giving away money or giving away cash cannot and will not guarantee you eternal happiness, aka abundant life. If given in genuine, spirit, it will make you feel good temporarily, but not permanently. But I will have much more to say on those points in this episode 22 and hopefully other future episodes. So please stay tuned. So far, and in the previous episodes, I have addressed commandment number 1. Now you see why I'm recommending, if you didn't watch the previous one, this may a bit throw you off. But I have already addressed commandment number 1. And what was commandment number 1? From my perspective, as I interpret what is written there, go. And I also addressed commandment number 2. And what is it? Sell. Sell all your possessions. So commandment number 1, go. Commandment number 2, sell all your possessions. And I think that I also answered the question that I am sure most of you, my very independent thinkers, critical and analytical truth seekers, have asked and may be asking, which is, who would and who could afford to buy his possessions, or who will he sell his material possessions to? And the answer is simple: to other bad-minded people like himself. Remember, again, let me remind you that bad-minded people are very sick and greedy, selfish people. In fact, from my perspective, they are the sickest and the most greediest people on the planet. And these very sick and greedy people are functioning from the paradigm of want, which is also known as the paradigm of lack. And as such, they are not satisfied, and nor can they be satisfied. Bad-minded people, greedy-ass people, selfish people, they cannot be satisfied. Like the grave, they cannot be satisfied. You can never feel the grave. These people can never be filled or be satisfied. For example, just look at what the less than 1%, also known as the 1%ers of this world, also known as the elites of this world, and more correctly, the elects of Satan, the devil, who is the God of this world. Look at what they are doing today. These are the elites, or the so-called the elects, which is, as I said, which I, the mystic philosopher, also identify and called, I personally identify them and call them the hand-picked, the brain-picked, the mind-picked, and the race-picked humankind. A kind of human that are living and dwelling among us and are manipulating us, ruling over us, enslaving us, exploiting us, poisoning us, intoxicating us, if you will, getting rid of us, or more bluntly, exterminating us. And in the interim, that are congregating and confining us by building 15-minute cities for us. Just look at what they are doing to us and the earth and how they are behaving among us. Take, for example, the Bill Gates, the Oprahs, and the likes. You name it or you name them. Just look at what they are doing with their money, aka the mark of the beast. They are purchasing and possessing almost all, if not every square inch of fertile land and volume of clean water that are upon the face of the earth. And in the process of doing so, they are uprooting, dispossessing, and displacing us, the natural native earthly humans, by any and all means necessary. Look at what these so-called rich and elites are doing. Us, the natural native earthly human, and all other native earthly inhabitants, look at what they are doing with their money. They can't have more. They just want. Because of their perverted minds, their evil intent, I mean, what can you say about devils? Are people who are possessed with devils. They have no shame. These idiots don't even realize that soon they will be gone, like many before these fools. Maybe the most they may get is a burial spot, and all that they possess will be left behind. But that's another subject. Their chronic greed knows no limit, and their chronic greed have no limit. They want to own and lord over everything that their eyes behold. And so by now, hopefully you too will not only see and hear, but you will also understand and understand why Jesus did not command this rich and restless man. Nobody is more restless than some of these rich people, these materially rich people. So now you know why Jesus did not command this restless man to sell his possession and give the money, give the cash to the poor. Can somebody show me one place in the book where Jesus, who's supposed to be the great teacher of the Christian faith according to this religion, show me just one place where other people, or you imply that people go give poor people money? One. The guy, from my perspective, will have little or nothing to do with that thing. And one day he said, give Caesar, because Caesar named by what belonged to Caesar. That's what he told his people. And so let's now go to commandment number 3. And what is commandment number 3? Commandment number 3 from my perspective is what? Give to the poor. Now I ask that you also please note that Yeshua, Jesus, did not say that he should give his material possession or possessions to the poor. In other words, it would be much easier. Instead of to sell, just give them. No, he didn't say that. There's so much inside this thing that I would like to dissect and, share perspective on, but time will not permit me. And by poor, I interpret this to mean the materially poor. Those of us, or those among him, that were lacking in material possessions. Now, for your information, the word poor, by meaning and definition, is, and I quote, it means lacking sufficient money to live at a standard considered comfortable or considered normal in a society, unquote. Very important. Look up the word poor. When we are calling a lot of people and putting a lot of people as being poor, it is important to look up the meaning and definition of this word poor. The word poor, again, by meaning and definition, is lacking sufficient money to live at a standard considered comfortable or normal in a society, unquote. Now, if this is correct, my people, if this definition is correct according to the English language, and if you agree with this definition, then the truth be told, if at all any of you or any of us, or any of you, my proud and erudite listeners, and by extension, any of us people in general are in a position, if we find ourselves in a position where we are lacking sufficient money, the mark of the beast again, I tell you, to live at a standard that is considered comfortable or that is considered normal in the society in which we are living, then we are by definition and in all practicality poor people. Hello? Right now, when you understand this, you realize that there is only a soak in this material world according to how the system is structured and all the greed and all that is going on, the manipulation as mentioned before. Then you will understand why there is only rich and poor, or those that were once called middle class are now being eliminated. You can hardly survive. They're becoming poor. Everybody is not going to be, majority, 99.99% going to be poor. And then you have the 1% as mentioned earlier as being rich. And why didn't Jesus order him, this rich man, to give his material possessions to the poor, you may ask? Well, from my perspective, Jesus already knew that those poor people of whom he spoke, and similar poor people today, I might add, were and are far better off without the attachments of material, of worldly material possessions. Remember that according to the Adamic race history and holy book, also known as the Christian Holy Bible, Jesus said that his mission for his people was for them to have life and have it more abundantly. And as mentioned before, in order for them to have abundant life, they have to be free of all attachments to money and all forms of material possessions. Hello, somebody. Anyway, Jesus knew the curses. Jesus knew the spells. Jesus knew the bad omen. Jesus knew the unhealthiness, the evil, and the unnatural experiences, just to name a few, that material possessions and the attachment thereof would have brought them. Them meaning the so-called poor. He knew the stresses, the headaches, the restlessness, the confusion, the depression, the family fights, the hatred, the separation of mind, spirit, body, and soul, etc., that material possessions would have brought them and will bring them, or more correctly, most of us today. And that is why we are told and warned that we should be careful of what we wish for. Be careful of what you desire. I mean, there's so much I could say here, but I'm running out of time. I am sure that some of you, my listeners, if not all of you, know someone or know somebody, know some people that have all the material possessions that you would have thought would have brought them happiness. But some might be sick and miserable in some places. Some might be in some place just waiting to and hoping to exhale. Finally, for now, my brethren, on commandment number 3, give to the poor. It means that you have to personally, if at all, it means that this rich person, this rich man, you are, or whoever it may apply, it means that you will have to personally give your physical, spiritual, and emotional self. You may have to give off your physical, spiritual, and emotional self to the poor by literally and practically serving them yourself. It means literally and practical hands-on service. It means that you have to go and physically visit them and be with them wherever they are. You will have to dress their wounds, if any, bathe them, cook for them, spend time with them, cook for them and feed them. It means playing with them. You aim it or you name them. Jesus' commandment number 3 here, from my perspective, definitely does not mean you sell your possession and hand over some big multi-million dollar cash donation to some charity and have them do the work for you, or paying someone to do the work for you. Not at all. Some people think they can just give cash and free their conscience. Oh, you fool. Truth be told, you can't buy your way out of abundant life. In other words, you can't buy your way to abundant life. So giving a big donation and your big thing at church, you may hear somebody sick and you send a big check and thing. I think I said go. No, but I have no time to get in it. But again, I run out of time for this segment. So please join me in episode 23 when I'm here. I will continue to diligently dissect for you and share with you some more of I, the Mystic Philosopher's perspective on the last 3 the last of these 5 commandments that are allegedly, or that, dictated by Jesus or by Yahushua. Namely commandment, number, what is it, number 5? Yeah, or number 4. Come follow me, whichever it is. Remember, I will also continue to show and prove my points on the dangers of bad mind and tell you more of how you may know and how you can know a bad mind person, aka a sick person, and how you may heal yourselves, from the curses of bad mind. So please, again, I ask you to stay tuned and join me then. Again, I also ask that if you can, that you please support this series of short presentations titled Another Perspective on Healthy Living by simply purchasing your supply of lignans which is this lignans from the Norwegian School Street from yours truly, I, the Mystic Philosopher. Yeah, I'm a distributor and promote this product. Why? Because it's good. It's great, and I will be talking more about it and have lots of information that you can find about it. So, lignans is very important. We will be talking about that in the future. So please purchase from me, I ask, if you can. It's good for you, right? You can just do that by clicking on the link that is provided in the description below. And also you can purchase a copy of my song playing in the background, or some of my songs. You'll find them on my site. Right? In the meantime and between time, all the time, so let me just cut it short here. In the meantime and between time, my people, in your becoming, I will let you be more and more, and definitely not less. Bless means be less. No, be more. For I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, I say. Sorry, I take up a lot of your time.